Back together at the SPWK TV, and I'm here with two amazing person, but for me everyone is amazing, and it's like 3 days I'm just repeating amazing, but it's really nice to have them here. There are both two speakers at the SPWK 2025, and we have Ugur that will speak tomorrow at
being tool agnostic.
Okay, perfect. And we have oh wow, Krisztián. Sorry, I really have problems with names sometimes. Krisztián, that already spoke yesterday about GA4 data form, and is also a colleague of Rick. So it's nice to have you here. I'm really sorry for sometimes my memory is awful. And what we are going to speak today is about being tool agnostic. We have really incredible tools everywhere, and from my personal perspective in Italy, we're really working a lot with GA4, so we just proposed that. So it's really nice also to understand, which is another point of view. And I have two questions mainly, and then we go on with that. And maybe I will do the first question to you, and the second question to you, Krisztián. So the first one, also because it's really related with what you're going to speak tomorrow. But before beginning with the question, it will be nice also to present yourself. So I just tell that you are speakers here, but it's nice to understand who you are, what's your work, and...
Thank you so much. I'm Uğur, as you mentioned. I live in Istanbul, coming from Turkey. I have 9 to 10 years experience in digital analytics area. I started to work with a tech startup as a vendor to providing install analytics to brands. Then I jumped to agency side. I worked for the 3 different agencies. 2 of them were the international ones. Then I moved to client side to manage the team, to create the digital analytics and digital marketing teams. 3 years ago, I established my own consulting company with this experience. Also, I am one of the organizers of Measure Camp Istanbul. I'm trying to give something to community, especially in Istanbul, Turkey, because unfortunately we are a little bit far away from the European community. That's a quick summary of my experience.
Okay, good. And Krisztián?
Yeah, so my name is Krisztián. I live in Budapest. I started to work in PPC, like Google Ads and Meta campaign management, and then I transitioned to the analytics world. And now I'm more involved in the engineering side of digital marketing, so like building data pipelines, transforming data, and building reporting dashboards based on them. So that's the gist of it, yeah.
Nice. So my first question is for you. What does it mean for you being tool agnostic?
It means not stuck on just one tool ecosystem. I mean, we hear some Google stack, Adobe stack, or something like it, and people are trying to use one of the tool of these stacks, and not open-minded for the new tools. People are really doing new stuffs, and so beneficial to your business, but most of people are not believing it's going to be helpful, and not eager to learn new stuffs, and not being too up-to-date for this kind of new technologies. I'm just pushing the people to ask what's your need in your business, rather than the name of the tools, and just being open-minded for the new choices and the learning the logic of behind, not the usage of the tool.
That's super nice, but I also think it's kind of difficult for a client to understand it, but I want to return back on that. I have another question for you, Krisztián, so maybe we can understand a bit better. I have this idea sometimes, is it possible for you, and how much it takes maybe to build our own tool, like don't rely on any tool and just to do our scrappy analytics on our site?
Yeah, it's really hard because you are surrounded by tools in your everyday work and you cannot really work without them. It's like you are a mechanic and you gotta work with tools to make things work. But yeah, you have to be tool agnostic to understand like most of them, like what they're good and what they're bad at, and choose the right one for the job at hand, and not necessarily stick with the one that you already know, because of routine and just become yourself the tool that uses other tools, I guess is a way to say it.
And actually, I think it's, don't worry, we are live, it can happen.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. And the point is for me as well, due to the fact we have so many tools and they are already made, why we need to build up our own? Maybe it asks for a lot of energies, a lot of money, because of course you need to be able to set up something that someone else have already made. I don't know if it's feasible, if it's something that you can suggest and to whom you can suggest it.
Yeah. So the first thing is when you have a task or a challenge at hand, you look at the available tools, like is it paid or free? Does it fulfill the requirement that I'm trying to do here? And if not, then that is when you, I think, go into the territory of creating it yourself. At first, I think for your own special use case, like I need it for this, but eventually it can grow out to be like a better, like an idea for multiple projects, and it can grow. But usually, if there's like a specific use case and there's no specific tool to use it, to solve it with, then you gotta make your own. I guess that's
like a GA4 data form, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like, it's easy or feasible for doing some things, but you really also need to have the right people.
Yeah, but just one more thing to add is that also I think a lot of people have played around with the idea of recreating the tracker, why do you need GA4? Let's just send an HTTP request to BigQuery and that's all you need. Why do you need GA4? But there's a lot of nuance there. There's a lot of processing, a lot of bot filtering and that sort of thing when you start to send those random hits to your tool. So it's usually what you see that, okay, I can do that myself. This must be easy. Sometimes it's not how it looks. It's usually a lot more nuanced.
Okay, great. And I want to connect back with you with the question I had before. So as we see, Krisztián made up a GA4 tool for BigQuery, so to process data and to allow people to have some kind of clean database. May I say that? Is okay,
cleaner,
perfect.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. But you made it yourself together with the other guys because you saw a need. So you wanted to do that because, of course, you need it also for your work. Yep. But here we have Ugur that said, yes, I'm tool agnostic and I need to show the clients, trying to be tool agnostic, and I need to show my clients that what I propose them is the right path. What do you suggest to do, or which are the different things that you are doing to try to convince them, mainly? Yeah,
to be honest, at first we should spend the time to learn the tool. I mean, with the trainings, and I'm trying to be a part of the partnership process of the tools to learn before explaining to client. Okay. I mean, explaining to companies. And we need to understand what the client needs in the project, digital analytics project. Then looking for what's the alternative of the tools. I mean, you can build a similar tool in the industry with adding just one value. And we need to follow up what's different and what's the value proposition of the tool. And the key part is the partnership and the training to learn before explaining and bringing it to the table from our side.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question here?
Yeah.
So how do you handle, usually when you onboard a client, usually they have their own tool stack that they already use.
Yes.
How do you approach that? Okay, this is what we use and it might be suboptimal, but this is what they use, this is what they're used to. How do you handle that situation?
First, we have an audit process when we start to work with a client. And in our audit documentation, we are checking the tools and we have the alternative ones. And we are asking the client why you are using this tool, because of the price, because of the values, etc. And we are comparing the alternative ones to explain the client. Okay, just an example. Most of our clients were using the Hotjar, and it was one of the best UX tools and to track the user behaviors. But some years ago, Microsoft built Clarity, and it's a free version. And we are asking the client, is there any reason that you are using this tool rather than this one? And we are updating our audit list with the new products, new tools. Of course, we are missing most of them until we search because of the issue. But
So,
we have a built-in audit version.
So it also means that you really need to be up to date or always learning kind of process.
Yes. It's the, hardest part because we have a daily, everyone has a daily routine business. And I'm trying to separate approximately 30 of the time of the people who work with me. And I'm pushing them, okay, in this time, learn new things, search the new tools, etc.
I really want that to be stick also online for people that are following us, because I don't really think a lot of people put so much importance on knowing new things and let others, because I think that you're a team lead or a director or kind of head of. So having the possibility in your team to have people that really have the time to learn. Last year, also me and Elena were speaking about team building or how to manage a team is important, because if you just keep your knowledge where it is, you will never go further. I'm sorry to have that, but it's really important for me. I really stress it out because for me, knowledge is one of the most important things inside a business. But I have also another question, and you can also both reply back to me. Sometimes you have a client just arrive and tell you, yes, you just need to implement me that tool. Mm-hmm. Is there a way that you can try to make it change his mind or her mind?
It really depends on the client. If sometimes we are doing the same thing, okay, that's the job and we have to do that. But our approach is to, as a consultant, we should tell the best practices, even if they accept or apply. We are just giving to best, okay, this is the best practice, this is the alternative ones, and that ones you would like to be applied. Make your choice again. If they are strict on doing the same thing in their mind, we are doing. It's our job at the end. But as a consultant, I guess, in general, I prefer to use the consulting company rather than the agency.
Okay.
And because we should give the best practices and explain the alternative ones, but the job is job, and if they would like, we are doing the same thing.
Yeah, so usually, as I alluded to before, usually the clients have their tools already, and I think best practices can be tool agnostic as well. So it doesn't matter if you're using Adobe, GF or whatever, tagging good practices and data engineering best practices are usually very similar, even if the tool is different. And so what I asked Ugur earlier is that I think it's a very common situation that they already have a tool, it's already whitelisted, it's already approved by legal. So, which is, very important nuance to have. So, yeah, you cannot be okay, I know a slightly better tool for this, but usually the reality usually says that, okay, this is what you are dealt, this is what to make the best of, I think. And that's usually fine. It's not like they are having the worst tool of them all that kills the whole project. Maybe it's not the best tool, but I think usually we can make it work in some ways.
Okay, it's nice. I have a more interesting question for me, but I think for everyone.
I hope it's not about the legal processes.
I know. No, if you can share with us maybe a really nice project that you had, that it was not the normal setting up tracking, or something that you really liked doing in the last career?
It's always the hardest question.
Oh, sorry.
One of the projects was related to CDP implementation, and it's a global company, not directly selling the products to users. Of course, there was a B2C sections, and it's approximately 77 domains, different domains, all of the 25 countries. And we built this customer data platform for them, and to connect the JData and the other EdTech, MarTech data in just one platform to segment the user. Okay. And it was really nice to see the big picture with the small pieces. And it was so, so hard because we implemented almost the domains, and then we deleted 1 year data because of the user unification issues, and we start again. And maybe it makes it one of the best for me because there was a failure
in between
story as well.
And you also learn stuff.
Yeah.
So doing errors is good.
Yeah.
And from you?
Yeah, my most interesting one lately was working for a retail media network. That is like a huge retailer web shop that offers brands to pay for them to have like these ad placements on their own website in web shop, and also they're doing advertising for them. And in this project, we have to do brand level reporting. So it's not like you pay for a campaign on Google Ads and then someone pays for anything, then you attribute it. But you have to specify that if they saw a Nike ad and they bought a Nike shoe, then you do the attribution and nothing else. If they bought Adidas or they saw Adidas, we don't care. And we have multiple platforms like Facebook, on like Google Ad Manager, Criteo, and that sort of thing. So that has been like a really interesting challenge to have, to get to know the tools themselves, like the tools in a way that they're the ad platforms in this sense, like how they work, how they provide you that data. Do they provide you this data at all? Like Google doesn't really. And yeah, it's been a really interesting learning journey.
That's nice. Okay, I have not a lot of questions now because it was quite interesting, but maybe we can return back to the first topic because, okay, being tool agnostic, which are the tools that you are most using, like the tool that you're using the most in these days? It will be nice also to know and share.
Okay, like the name of the tools,
yes,
right?
Just to have an idea, because for me in Italy, I really worked mainly with Google.
Yeah, for the basic ones, at least, we are using one of the web analytics tools. The most common one is the GA4 now.
Yeah.
And the tag management, for the tag management system, we are using Google Tag Manager, but some of the clients from the French, I was using Tag Commander before. Also, for MMP ones, there are some key players in the industry. We are using Adjust, Singular, or AppsFlyer as the mobile measurement partners. Normally, we were using Google Optimize for the A/B testing because of the free versions, but nowadays most of the clients stop to do A/B testing because of the fees. But we are using VWO and Optimize for some clients.
Maybe contact tricks in the future.
I hope one day we will have a client to try them. Really, I'm following up the tools and updates. And in general, I'm always forgetting to talk about, but the consent management tools are so important. And the OneTrust now is the leader of the, as I follow, the market. Not only for the digital analytics perspective, legal teams are using to assign the contracts in the OneTrust. And we have a server-side solution, also, of course, using STEP, but we have one server-side company from Turkey. It's the name, the Havas, and we are using it. And Firebase, of course, again, Google Stack and the BigQuery, other data platforms, Looker Studio and Power BI for reporting. When we start to count and it's coming to 10, 11 and going away, and I will try to use the GA4 data form. I really love this kind of conferences because learning new things, updating, and even if I hear before, maybe I couldn't find any time to try. But now I have spark to try.
Nice, yeah. And we need really to close, but I want to know you if you can add also some tools that you didn't mention.
He covered a lot. I mean, there's always the stage from data collection to data visualization. You have all sorts of hundreds of tools for each of them. We are also pretty locked in to the Google Stack mostly, as this is the more well spread and well known. Most of my time has been in BigQuery and Dataform and other like GCP products that facilitate data pipelines. But he covered most of them.
Okay, great. So you can try to follow the GA4 for Dataform. And you can also follow this afternoon. You will have a panel with the piano, Piwik Pro, and Snowplow. So you can also begin to learn to use that ones or suggest them. We need to close. We are a bit late. So thanks a lot. Thanks to you. And next will be Umar. So stay connected.